Like me, if you too thrive on interesting conversations, this is a show you cannot miss. Watch this space to know more about all matters and all people that make Britain what it is today. Out of Britain, with me, Radhika Iyer.
I now request the Honourable Prime Minister to launch NDTV World and address the summit.
It was the grand launch of NDTV World by Prime Minister Narendra Modi. NDTV World, as he laid out his vision for the India century at the NDTV World Summit.
ऐसी सदी जिसमें भारत के प्रयासों से दुनिया में स्थिरता आए,
in the presence of those who are shaping our future.
मेरी तरफ से आपको ढेर सारी शुभकामनाएं हैं।
NDTV World, your new home for global news is here.
This is NDTV, and you're watching NDTV 24/7.
Hello and welcome to this Monday edition of the World Report with me, Arjun Mahendran. Let's take a look at what's making headlines around the world. Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau is expected to announce his resignation as the leader of the Liberal Party this week. The Globe and Mail is reporting Trudeau has been under pressure from elected lawmakers in his party to quit for months. And it increased further when Chrystia Freeland, his finance minister and deputy prime minister, stepped down on the 16th of December, saying she and Trudeau were at odds on policy. Liberal lawmakers are scheduled to hold a caucus meeting on Wednesday. Trudeau's resignation would trigger a race for the party leadership, with the winner becoming the Prime Minister. A Bangladeshi court has issued a second arrest warrant for exiled former Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina, this time for her alleged role in enforced disappearances. The chief prosecutor said on Monday, Dhaka has already issued an arrest warrant on charges of crimes against humanity for the 77-year-old Hasina, who fled to old ally India in August after she was toppled by a student-led revolution. Her 15-year-old tenure saw widespread human rights abuses, including the mass detention and extrajudicial killings of her political opponents. Tajul Islam, chief prosecutor of the Domestic International Crimes Tribunal, or the ICT in Bangladesh, said the second warrant relates to enforced disappearances during Hasina's tenure. According to multiple reports citing Hamas and Israeli officials, Hamas was said to have agreed to Israel on a list of 34 hostages to be released in the first phase of a potential ceasefire deal. But the Palestinian terror group was refusing to detail who of them were alive. After a Hamas official cited by Western media agencies as claiming the terror group had supplied such a list, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's office quickly denied it and said that as of now, Hamas has not given a list of hostages. Western media outlets later said the Hamas official had provided the outlet a copy of the list showing the names of 34 hostages it agreed to set free in any possible ceasefire deal with Israel. However, the agency did not say whose names were on that list. Israel has warned that the ceasefire agreement with Hezbollah could collapse if the Lebanese Iran-backed militia group does not withdraw beyond the Litani River in South Lebanon, one of the key stipulations of the truce. Both Israel and Hezbollah have repeatedly accused each other of violating the terms of the agreement, although it has largely been holding. The two parties agreed to stop hostilities for at least 60 days from the 27th of November. In this time, Hezbollah fighters were expected to retreat 40 kilometers from the Israel-Lebanon border, while Israeli ground forces withdrew from Lebanese territory. U.S. National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan is in India to take a stock of India-U.S. initiative on Critical and Emerging Technologies, or ICET. The Biden administration official met with External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar on Monday. According to reports, Sullivan is expected to include discussions with Indian counterparts about the impact of Chinese dams. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken met South Korea's acting leader Choi Sang-mok in Seoul on Monday. Blinken is making what is expected to be his final overseas trip in office. He is visiting South Korea and later Japan and France. South Korea is in the midst of a political turmoil after President Yoon Suk-yeol was impeached. Political developments in South Korea, however, after Yoon declared martial law and was later impeached, have raised questions about the stability of Washington-Seoul relations. The U.S. State Department has said in a statement that Blinken will speak with South Korean officials about how to, quote-unquote, build our critical cooperation on challenges around the world based on our shared values. According to reports, South Korean investigators will now seek an extension of a warrant to arrest impeached President Yoon Suk-yeol as an anti-graft agency asked police to take over efforts to execute the arrest of the embattled leader. The request comes after a failed attempt to serve the warrant on Friday, following a tense standoff with Presidential Security Service guards who formed a human chain to block access to Yoon by the investigators. North Korea has fired what appears to be an intermediate-range ballistic missile towards the sea to its east. South Korea's military has said in what is Pyongyang's first missile launch in 2 months, and most definitely the first of this year. The missile flew 1,100 kilometers before falling into the sea, the military said, adding that it strongly condemns this clear act of provocation. South Korea's military says it has strengthened surveillance for the North's future missile launches and is closely sharing information on today's launch with the US and Japan.
Landed inside Japan, less than 250 kilometers from the
India and the US are working to ensure the continuity of their high-tech cooperation by solidifying commitments ahead of the Trump administration's transition this month. Kiev renewed its offensive in Russia's Kursk region as Ukraine tries to hold territory there ahead of US President-elect Donald Trump's inauguration. Since Ukraine's initial incursion into Kursk in August, the first invasion of Russia since World War II, Moscow has regained much of the lost territory. Trump, meanwhile, has vowed to end the war, and a stronger position on the battlefield could give Kiev a better position in any future negotiations with Moscow. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has described it as a quote-unquote very strong thumping card. Russia has declared a state of emergency in Crimea after an oil spill in the Black Sea last month. The spill, caused by a storm hitting 2 old tankers on the 15th of December, led to contamination in the Kerch Strait area. Authorities say new traces of pollution needed urgent cleanup. Over 86,000 tons of contaminated sanded soil have been cleared so far by more than 10,000 workers. The cleanup effort is focused around Anapa, a popular resort town. Environmental groups, meanwhile, report that the spill has caused the death of dolphins, porpoises, and seabirds. Canada has temporarily halted accepting new applications for parent and grandparent permanent residency sponsorships to focus on clearing the backlog of existing cases, according to a directive issued by the Immigration Minister, Mark Miller. Now, the directive published in the Canada Gazette reaffirms the government's commitment to family reunification but prioritizes processing applications submitted last year. Miller noted that the decision aligns with the government's broader immigration goals. To streamline operations, other immigration streams have also seen new sponsorships paused. As part of its immigration levels plan, which targets a reduced overall intake over the next 3 years, the Canadian government aims to admit up to 15,000 applications submitted through the Family Reunification Program this year. The number of people with flu in hospitals in England has quadrupled over the past month and is rising at a very concerning rate. NHS chiefs have warned. Meanwhile, the amount of acute respiratory illness causing Americans to seek health care is at a high level too, according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. In an update issued on Friday, the CDC announced that in addition to COVID-19 activity increasing from low levels in most areas across the U.S., seasonal influenza activity also continues to increase and is elevated rather across most of the country. Elon Musk has said Nigel Farage should quit as the leader of Britain's right-wing Reform UK party in an abrupt withdrawal of support by the US billionaire for the Brexit campaigner who is trying to shake up the British political establishment again. The Reform Party needs a new leader. Farage doesn't have what it takes, Musk said on his social media platform X on Sunday, a few hours only after Farage described him as a friend who made reform, quote-unquote, look cool. The FBI on Sunday released videos of Shamsuddin Jabbar, the man responsible for the truck attack in New Orleans on New Year's Day that killed 14 people. The video showed him in the hours leading up to the attack and during a previous visit to the city. 42-year-old Jabbar, a former U.S. Army soldier from Houston, carried out the attack early Wednesday. Police fatally shot him during a firefight at the scene of the deadly crash on Bourbon Street. It's famous worldwide for its festive vibes in New Orleans' historic French Quarter. Shamsuddin Jabbar, the man responsible for the truck attack in New Orleans on New Year's Day that killed 14 people, visited the city twice and recorded video of the French Quarter with hands-free glasses, an FBI official has said. Shamsuddin Jabbar, a U.S. citizen from Houston, also traveled to Cairo, Egypt, as well as Ontario, Canada before the attack, although it was not yet clear whether those trips were connected indeed to the attack or not. Deputy Assistant Director Christopher Raya said at a press conference.
We have also tracked that Jabbar traveled to Cairo, Egypt from June 22nd until July 3rd of 2023. A few days later, he flew to Ontario, Canada on July 10th and returned to the U.S. on July 13th of 2023. Our agents are getting answers as to where he went, who he met with, and how those trips may or may not tie into his actions here in our city in New Orleans. We've also discovered that Jabbar made at least 2 trips to New Orleans in the months prior to the attacks. One in October and the other a month later in November of 2022.
The congestion pricing plan covering lower and midtown Manhattan in New York took effect on Sunday, making the New York City the first U.S. city to rather implement such a plan. Vehicles will be tolled once a day for entering the congestion relief zone, with the amount depending on the type of the vehicle, time of the day, whether any crossing credits apply, and the method of payment, with discounts and exemptions applicable to certain drivers or vehicles. The Metropolitan Transportation Authority, or the MTA, has said in a statement posted on its official website. Venezuela's government has doubled down on its intention to arrest the opposition leader who claims he defeated President Nicolas Maduro in last year's election in the form of a threat from the ruling party-controlled Congress. Without mentioning Edmundo Gonzalez's name, the National Assembly leader Jorge Rodriguez said the unicameral body would order the immediate arrest of the retired diplomat should he step on Venezuelan soil. Now, the threat follows the government's recent announcement of a $100,000 reward for information on Gonzalez's whereabouts and comes less than a week before Venezuela's next presidential term is set to begin. Thousands of families lined the streets in the Spanish capital on Sunday to watch the Three Kings parade. The caravan of Melchior, Gaspar, and Balthazar was led by dancers, giant puppets, the Star of Bethlehem, and luminous figures, while the 3 royal chariots distributed buckets of candies to children. Now, Spanish children wake up to the gifts on their shoes if they have behaved well, and if not, coal will be left. The tradition recreates the biblical moment in which the Star of Bethlehem guided the three wise men from the east to baby Jesus, offering him gold, incense, and myrrh as a present. Revelers kicked off the 2025 carnival season with an unofficial carnival opening with street parties around Rio de Janeiro on Sunday. 42 different street party bands from 9 a.m. local time through 4 p.m. local time, or when the last reveller leaves, will be parading through Rio's downtown. Unofficial street parties are groups that parade without taking part in the City Hall's registration process. Many started out as groups of musician friends who ended up attracting revelers on the way, celebrating together. Now, the carnival in 2025 will happen in the first days of March, so the party lovers will have 2 months of pre-carnival colourful celebrating and parading until the official carnival week. Millions of Americans are in the grips of a huge winter storm that could bring the heaviest snowfall and coldest temperatures in over a decade. Thousands of flights are delayed or cancelled, with St. Louis, Missouri, the worst hit airport. A polar vortex, in fact, has brought frigid weather down from the Arctic, with extreme weather conditions accompanying it in Kansas. Kansas and Missouri are under blizzard warnings with whiteout conditions forecast. A state of emergency has been declared in the state of Kentucky, Virginia, West Virginia, Kansas, Arkansas, and Missouri. It's time we slip into a short break now. I'll see you on the other side.
Time's up, fad diets. Life's too short to just eat cabbage soup. With its combination of medication, digital tracking and coaching, join the weight loss revolution with Voi.
I've been thinking, I want to plan my funeral so it feels more like a celebration. My parents always said I was born dancing. I just love it. Bhangra, disco, even line dancing. So when my time comes, I want to have music, dancing, the lot.
With over 150 years' experience, you can count on Co-op Funeral Care to help you pre-plan the funeral you want. To find out more, visit Co-op Funeral Care or give us a call.
With retirement round the corner, I want to spend more time with my family and less time worrying about the numbers. Which reminds me.
Welcome to British Seniors, the UK's #1 rated provider of over 50s life insurance.
Hi, I'd like a quick quote.
No problem. We're proud to offer our seniors lifetime guarantee. With 100% of claims having been paid, we guarantee your premiums will never go up and that you'll speak to one of our specialists in the UK. UK residents aged 50 to 80 are guaranteed to be accepted. Depending on your age, your loved ones can get a cash payout up to £10,000.
And that money could help with funeral costs or even as a gift for the grandkids. I'll do it.
Plus, when you sign up, you'll receive a £135 gift card and free 24/7 GP advice and health services.
You got them all right. That's amazing.
Be proud to protect your loved ones with British Seniors. To get a free quote today, call our UK team on 0800 977 5808 or visit britishseniors.co.uk.
Heroes like Martin get a little bit more with Little Plus Super Spin because he's just won an epic £10 coupon, like one in every 10 shoppers this January. Very cool, Martin. Download Little Plus today and get...
I'll fix him, love. Poor pet. Just shows you never know what's going to happen. Which reminds me, I need to protect the life we've built. That's why I'm looking into Smart Family Life Insurance. Hi, I'd like a quick quote, please.
OK. You can choose a benefit amount up to £750,000, depending on your age. If you're a UK resident aged 18 to 64, you can apply with just a few health and lifestyle questions. For £250,000 of cover, the price starts at just £14.77 a month.
That's less than I thought. And it could help my husband with the mortgage.
Just like families, not all life insurance is the same. That's why we offer the Smart Family Guarantee.
That's good to know.
You'll also receive a 100% advance in the event of terminal illness and 10% cash back on your first year's premiums. That's the Smart Cashback. Plus, you'll also get your choice of a £125 gift card.
Protect the life you've built the smart way. To get a free quote today, call our specialist UK team on 0800 977 5753 or visit smartinsurance.co.uk.
Welcome back. Political uncertainty remained a feature as Canadian media reported that the embattled Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau would announce his resignation as early as Monday. The Canadian currency strengthened as much as 0.4% per dollar after reports, advancing for the first time in 5 sessions. The currency is trading near its weakest level since March 2020 and has already lost more than 7% against the greenback in the past year alone. The dollar eased a bit on Monday but stayed close to a 2-year peak as traders awaited a raft of US economic data releases this week, headlined by December's non-farm payments report, for further clues on the Fed's rate outlook. Also in focus was the Chinese yuan, which on Friday weakened past the psychological level of 7.3 per dollar in the onshore market for the first time in 14 months. This after the People's Bank of China had aggressively defended the key threshold for most of December. Japanese media reported on Monday that Tadashi Imai, the president of Japan's Nippon Steel, has said the company is considering filing a lawsuit against the US government as one of the important options. Now, this comes after President Joe Biden blocked the company's nearly $15 billion acquisition of Pittsburgh-based US Steel last week. Shares of Nippon Steel dropped 0.5% on Monday. Looking ahead for the year, the Japan Stock Exchange Group CEO, Hiromi Yamaji, said he is keeping a close eye on the incoming administration of President-elect Donald Trump. As per reports, Italy is in advanced talks with Elon Musk SpaceX for a deal to provide secure telecommunications for the nation's government, the largest such project in Europe, people with knowledge of the matter said Sunday. Discussions are ongoing and a final agreement on the 5-year contract hasn't been reached, said the people who asked not to be identified, citing confidential discussions. Now, the project has already been approved by Italy's intelligence services as well as the country's defense ministry. With the departure of the first high-speed train, the G1305 on Sunday, Shanghai South Railway Station officially has ushered in its high-speed rail era. Listen into what a senior official had to say about the new project.
60%，主要覆盖至杭州、宁波、温州、黄山等短途，以及至厦门、南昌、长沙、郑州等中长途列车。同时呢，为满足多元化旅客的一个出行需求，车站还保留了至重庆、武昌、南宁、广州等热门方向的普速列车11对。
Last week, the crew aboard the Shenzhou 19 spacecraft conducted a series of in-orbit verifications for China's first space station intelligent flight robot, Xiaohang. During the mission, astronauts utilized Xiaohang alongside human-robot collaborative interaction software. Now, this allowed them to carry out a variety of experiments related to human-robot spatial relationships, robot behavior characterization, and multimodal interaction technologies. The goal of these experiments is to help enhance mission efficiency by fostering a more effective interaction between astronauts and robotic systems. Reaction from head coach Enzo Maresca as Chelsea's winless run in the league extended to 4 matches after drawing at Crystal Palace 1-1. Chelsea has drawn twice and lost twice since the 22nd of December, damaging a title bid that had been picking up some steam, even if manager Enzo Maresca never accepted his team was a realistic challenger. Here's what he said.
enough to win the game today. Between first half and second half, I think we create chances enough to win the game, but in football you need to be clinical, otherwise the game is always open, especially in this stadium. You know, any transition, any corner boosts the energy for them. Yeah, unfortunately at the end we concede, but overall I think today we did enough to win the game.
Now, if you ever visit the home of Coco Gauff, don't expect to see her US Open Championship trophy on display there. The American star has revealed that the silverware from her 2023 title in New York is tucked away. And tucked away where? It's in a safe. The admission came as Gauff and her USA teammates celebrated their 2025 United Cup victory near Sydney's iconic Harbour Bridge and the Opera House. Asked about named the United Cup most valuable player, Gauff said it was great to get the honor and that the trophy is one she might actually leave outside the box. Teammate Taylor Fritz then reminded her that she has a US Open trophy already, but Gauff replied that it was not on display. She said the US Open trophy is in a safe, and then she laughed. Over 3,000 car racers and self-driving enthusiasts rallied on the sandland in northern China's Inner Mongolia Autonomous Region for a thrilling race, which becomes even more exhilarating in the icy winter. The three-day race opened on Saturday. At the opening ceremony, an immersive art show featuring local characteristics was presented, providing visitors with a captivating visual experience. Meanwhile, a carnival featuring various ice and snow leisure activities, culinary experiences, and a camel beauty pageant were held on the sidelines of the car race. The 7th Harbin Shanghua River Ice and Snow Carnival opened in northeast China's Heilongjiang province on Saturday. The park covers an area of 413,000 square meters on ice. It's been awarded the largest outdoor ice amusement park by the Guinness World Records title. To welcome the 9th Asian Winter Games, the carnival has created a creative landscape with the theme of the Asian Winter Games, and the number of ice and snow entertainment activities is the largest ever, while realizing the full coverage of Chinese and English bilingual instructions, translation, and audio broadcasting. The 2025 Hollywood award season has officially kick-started with the 82nd version of the Golden Globes. The award ceremony is currently underway at the Beverly Hilton Hotel in Los Angeles. Payal Kapadia's All We Imagine Is Light, however, lost the Best Foreign Language Film Award to Emilia Perez. Now, Perez and The Brutalist swept the awards. Walt Disney Co.'s Mufasa claimed the #1 spot on the North American box office charts over the first weekend of 2025. The photorealistic Lion King prequel earned $23.8 million in its third weekend. Now, this is according to studio estimates on Sunday. Meanwhile, Paramount's Sonic the Hedgehog 3, which has dominated the past 2 weekends, wasn't far behind. It stayed close with a 3-day estimate of $21.2 million, bringing in its total domestic earnings to a whopping $187.5 million and helping the overall franchise cross $1 billion worldwide. Mufasa's running total is slightly less, with $169.2 million. America's incoming First Lady Melania Trump will be the subject of a new documentary directed by Brett Ratner and distributed by Amazon Prime Video. Now, the streaming arm of the tech giant got exclusive licensing rights for a streaming and theatrical release later this year, the company said on Sunday. Filming is already underway on the documentary. The company said in a statement that the film will give viewers an unprecedented behind-the-scenes look at Melania Trump and also promised a truly unique story. Now, the former and now future First Lady also released a self-titled memoir late last year. Her husband takes office on the 20th of January. So that's all we have for you today. Take care and have a wonderful day.
Heroes like Martin get a little bit more with Little Plus Super Spin because he's just won an epic £10 coupon, like one in every 10 shoppers this January. Very cool, Martin. Download Little Plus today and get...
This EE winter sale, get the amazing Google Pixel 9 Pro and save a huge £623. Plus, get unlimited data. Then kickstart your year with Gemini Live, the ultimate assistant in your pocket. From practicing interview questions to planning trips away. Just go live to talk things out with Gemini. All on the UK's best network. No wonder tech lovers choose EE. Offer ends 30th of January.
So you want the confidence to hit that high note. Here's how. Get the Harry's trial set. For just $3.95, you'll get our new trim and razor, shave gel and travel cover. With our new razor, even your 8th shave will be as smooth as your first. Its 5 German-engineered blades are our sharpest yet. Now with your newfound confidence, that high note is there for the taking. Harry's. Feel good, fellas.
Time's up, fad diets. Life's too short to just eat cabbage soup. With its combination of medication, digital tracking and coaching, join the weight loss revolution with Voi.
Said that 15 days should be given to the public so that they could enter the Sheesh Mahal. They themselves firsthand should experience the grandeur that has been filled inside of the bungalow, and then only the public should decide if to vote Arvind Kejriwal to power or not. Back to Suri.
Thank you very much, Anushka, for getting us all that story. A huge drama unfolded in Tamil Nadu Assembly earlier today. AIDMK MLAs were evicted after they created ruckus in the Assembly, flashing badges and placards stating Yaranta sir, who is that sir, in connection with the Anna University sexual assault case. MLAs and leaders from AIDMK were holding placards and banners protesting alleged sexual assault case at the university, demanding justice for the student. Palaniswamy and other AIDMK MLAs raised slogans and demanded an answer for the question, who's that sir, from the DMK government. Meanwhile, BJP leaders staged a walkout on the same issue.
Sir, everybody knows the same demand, who is that sir? This is our Honorable LOP stand for quite a long time. You know, in Anna University, what happened, you know very well. There is a lot of contradictory statement by the Honorable Higher Education Minister and Honorable Law Minister and City Commissioner. A lot of contradictory interviews and statement by the government. So we have a strong doubt because the involved person is the DMK office bearer. So government is supporting that, and government, we want the transparent inquiry that in High Court, based on the AIDMK advocate office bearer, Mrs. Varalakshmi has gone to the government, filed the petition. Based on that petition, only Honorable High Court has given a SIT. So the SIT is on, but still there is no answer for who is that sir.
My colleague Sam Daniel joins me for more on the story. Sam, while there has been an uproar on the floor of the assembly, talk to us about the government's intent in bringing the culprits to books.
Well, Rika, even as the opposition, AIADMK, is turning the heat on the ruling DMK over the alleged sexual assault of a woman student on the Anna University campus in Chennai by holding placards and raising slogans on the floor of the House, the ruling DMK says law is taking its course. Number one, they deny that the accused perpetrator, alleged perpetrator, is a DMK functionary. They say a court-appointed SIT, Special Investigation Team, by 3 women officers are on the job and they are investigating, and they have nothing to hide, nor are they trying to cover up. Over the specific allegation of the AIADMK raking up or alleging that the perpetrator, the alleged perpetrator, was talking to someone, calling the other person as sir. when the survivor was with him. They say that's completely speculation, and that they cannot respond to that. Whatever had happened, they say, would come after the investigation. And they deny this is an indication of declining law and order. And they point out that the police had, in the first place, within 5 hours after the survivor had given a police complaint, had nabbed the alleged perpetrator, put him behind bars, invoking sections of sexual assault. And they point out in the past, during the earlier AIDMQ regime, when the infamous allegations of sexual scandal and Pollachi came up, they say the survivors were so scared even to give a written complaint to the police. That's a huge difference. They say that now survivors are coming forward to file police complaints, and they say this is not a reflection of declining law and order. On the other hand, they say they are working to enhance women's security in terms of campuses across the state. But what the AIDMQ had done today on the floor of the House and later they were evicted is an indication, Rika, that in the coming days of the Assembly, they're going to turn the heat on the ruling DMK, raising issues of women's safety, law and order, drugs in Tamil Nadu, hoping to gain political mileage and also to mount pressure on investigators to bring the alleged perpetrator to justice.
Right. Thank you very much, Sam, for getting us that report. But do stay on with us for the next story. The Tamil Nadu Assembly's first session of the year got off to a stormy start after AIDMK General Secretary and leader of the opposition led his party MLAs to the House wearing the badges. That's the story we have just spoken to you about. But there is another uproar that happened inside the House. Tamil Nadu's Assembly's winter session started on a dramatic note with the Governor R.N. Ravi walking out without making the customary address and opposition parties staging protests inside the Assembly. Governor N. Ravi did not deliver his address during the first session of the State Legislative Assembly, mentioning serious breaches concerning the national anthem. According to the statement from the office of Raj Bhavan, after the governor arrived at the assembly, only the state anthem was performed. Instead of the national anthem, which is traditionally played in such occasions, Chief Minister M.K. Stalin has called the governor's walkout childish. My colleague Sam Daniel is still with us on this story. Sam, this is not the first time that he has done it. He has staged a walkout. It has happened a few times. Tell us what really has not been fixed that is getting his goat.
Well, Rika, the tug of war between Raj Bhavan and the ruling DMK in Tamil Nadu continues, which the ruling DMK calls it as a politically motivated act by Governor R.N. Ravi, who they allege acts as a BJP spokesperson. Today, the governor, who was expected or scheduled to deliver the customary governor's address, today being the first day of the session in the new year, Governor R.N. Ravi took objection to the assembly not singing the national anthem before his customary address and also after the address. And he says he requested the Chief Minister and the Speaker, but they stuck to the Assembly's convention of only singing the Tamil anthem in the beginning, and then the national anthem will be sung at the end of the governor's address. This, he says, is a kind of disrespect to the Constitution, and he says he cannot be a party to that, and citing that as an excuse, he walked away without giving the address. And Chief Minister M.K. Stalin calls this childish, saying that the governor is not even doing the